Okay, so now I'm gonna show you how to use the Twitch chat box editor, which is gonna be new in Scorebars Offline 3.0. For people that want to have, I don't know, just, a lot of people that have like the chat boxes on the side of their screens, and they want something cool designs or cool options, cool features. That's what I made this for. So I'm gonna open that up right there. This will be the default style. And know that the Twitch chat box page is a separate page from the scoreboard, so you can put it in different places on your stream if you want. So you don't have like the score bars on top. Okay, so from here, this will be your default one. On the screen here, you can see. Let me show you on the other screen. You'll see it on the top left here of the. Let's call it my gameplay screen. And there's a plus button here just to show you what it looks like when it's populating, when people get messages in their Twitch chat. And you'll see here, that's what it'll look like on your Twitch chat. Now, I mean it gets right. You can put the chat anywhere you want, but usually for people that have have the screen cut out, like let's see, people that have like the screen cut out into a box like that or something. I mean, it's kind of what the chat box is for, but you can obviously do whatever you want with it and put it anywhere you want. But I'm just going to show you how it works. So here in our editor, we're going to, I'm just going to customize some stuff. So from the top, you'll have a bunch of different options. From the top of the editing part, you have your preview window and you have your editing options here. So the first section of it is the chat box window, which is what this whole thing is. You can change the color, the background of it, and everything if you want. So that changes the background cover of the entire box, not just each individual message. The preview's here in this window, so you don't have to open up the actual chat box and look at it there, because it's small enough so you can do that, unlike the the thumbnail creator and stuff. You can also change the fade types. If you like it to fade out, top of the bottom, or both. You can change the border type. A lot of these options will be as part of the other. A lot of these options will be a part of the other things you can customize as well, but like border size and stuff. So add the extra border size. You can see if you can tell it's there. Change the dash, dots, etc. And the color of it. You can even change the radius, the roundedness of it if you want as well. Okay. Now this preview window here is going to be a max height of like 530, but on your actual Twitch screen it's going to be whatever you set it at here under max height. There's also a page alignment option, so it's thinking that obviously your screen is in 1920 by 1080, so you don't have to move the actual box around on your OBS. I made a page alignment option, so it'll go to the top left. It'll align itself to the top left, top right, center left, center right, bottom left, bottom right. So you don't have to move it around if you want to do that. Also a message limit. That's to to save memory and stuff like that. So maybe like if it gets too crazy or too fast, it doesn't like crash or something like that. I don't know if it could. It hasn't happened to me, but it's there just in case it could happen. I don't know. And then you have your messages box, your username messages box, which is the whole box here together. And so it has the same kind of options as the borders and things like that. You can also change the width if you have if you wanted to make it, skinnier or whatnot, and limit that. I'm gonna leave it at the longest. You can also fix the height to a certain amount, so when people are texting in the chat, it doesn't get super long, or it only stays a certain size if you want it to look a certain way. Then you can also limit the amount of text is in a message as well. You can also rotate it via the x-axis or the y-axis. Give it kind of a 3D effect there if you want to do that. That'll be like the whole message. The z-axis as well. So if you don't want to use colors for the username or the message, you can also add your own backgrounds, make them, put them in here, what have you. I've already made some. I'll load up my other ones. I made the DNF one and Verizon one. And you can also change the animations. You can also change the animations of how they enter the window. So for now it's none. You can have it fade in. You can have them grow, bounce grow, things like that. You change the load-in position. So if you want messages to come in, the new messages to come at the top of the chat, you put top. If you want them to come in at the bottom of the chat, you set them to the bottom. There's persistence, so if you want the messages to stay on the screen and the whole time, you can leave that, or you can have them fade away. And you have 4 different options for selections there for how long you want them to stay. There's also an option for alternating sides. You'll see this in my Persona 5 style, where it's going to be random, but after every couple messages, your theme will flip around. So that's what it means by alternating sides. It'll flip around, do the reverse. So if the name's up on the top left, usually it'll be up on the top right. It gives it more of that phone message kind of vibe, I guess. That's why it's there. There's an icon / username box. That's going to be this box here. You don't see the icon in it because it's not on right now. But those are grouped together. You can also change the kind of the display type it is. So if you want to not have them adjacent to each other, you can break them down to blocks. Align the text and things like that if you want to make something like that. Change how high everything is or how low everything is on the screen. And you can also change the width of it. And then this is how you know what's covered in that box. By changing the background, you can tell where it is. You can also just leave it up. Here we have the username icon options. If I turn this on, you will see. Let's make it a darker color. There's a question mark in the box because that's the default icon. But you'll have options to change the borders and stuff like that. You can change the radius, which is the roundedness of it. Make it lighter. You can do all that cool stuff. I'm gonna just square it out. You can also change how high or low it is from the bar there. All the sections you can add drop shadows to if you want. But what's special about the icon box is that you can choose different icon packs. So when your chat is messaging, messaging in the chat, they'll have an icon attached to them. So let's see. Let me change the width of it. Let's make it 50. icon box has its own width and height, and the actual image has its own width and height, just for more fine-tuned customization depending on how you want it to look. So yeah, so when they text, they'll get a different, they'll have a random character from that pack that you selected. And packs can be added, you can download them from the Discord, and you can make your own, obviously. It's super easy to drag, just make a folder in the icon section, drag all your icon PNGs into it if you want. But I also put out packs on my own, or anybody else can as well, in the Discord. So yeah, when they're texting, they'll have a random icon from that folder. But in the actual chat, the chat box knows who has which icon, so it'll always be the same for that character. I mean, the icon will always be the same for that user, unless you refresh the entire Twitch page, for example. So it knows that there's a memory thing going on, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, you can choose different icon packs, things like that. You know, let me spice it up. Let me round it up a bit. Let's do 20. Yeah, from here, I mean, you can see, you can also change the orientation of them, change the height. There's also a section for, so E1, it's E1 to 3 different background colors or masks. This is just an extra, you will never use this, except for specific cases. I had to use it to make the Persona 5 theme, because it has a layered way of working. I wanted to do it without using an image. So the next thing down, you'll see the username box. Let me copy that color. You have your username box, and you can have this not aligned with the icon anymore if you want to just change it to block. And yeah, you'll have the same similar settings. You have padding and things like that, which you don't need here. Next one is the username, the actual username box. So username box and the username. Well, there's a username box and there's username box. There's username box and there's username box. So they're separate. So the username box is inside of the username box is box. So, and it just allows more customization for things depending on how you want your chat box to look. I know it sounds confusing because it's box on the name, but you'll get what I'm saying when you're playing around with it. Here you can, do the customization stuff. You can change your font. Not sure, I like that one already. Let's leave it with that. Text with something darker. And I want it to round out a bit to match up with the icon there. You can also set your username and messages to a fixed set of width. Like I was saying before, we can do that with the whole message box, or you can do it with the actual username box and the message box itself, the ones inside of that. If you want to focus on a certain size that meets, because everyone's like boxed out window in their streams like that is not always the same size, of course. Even though you can use this just on your stream as well if you want, overlaying it. instead of just like in your like window cutout. Yeah, you can do drop shadows and stuff, of course, if you wanted to go that route. Let's see. That's kind of cool. But I don't need that here. That's kind of cool though. No. You can also rotate things if you wanted to do that. For just a little bit of flexibility for some things. So there's also a spacer box that's going to go in between your name, username box, and your message box. And it's just there if you want like little symbols in between things. Like works best when everything's an inline block instead of a regular block. You see, you can change. What do you see there? But change the symbols. Or you can change it to just the background color and other things. You can change the size of the symbols as well, or the icons that are available. Okay, so next we have the message box. We're gonna move it a bit because it's sitting right under where I want it to be. So we're gonna move it. Actually, we're gonna change the color to the same thing. Change whatever it is. It kind of comes together. Move it up so it's all together like that. And I want to change the username border radius on the bottom right now. Yeah, so it's all synced up. I kind of like that like that. I mean, it's a cool little chat window. You see it all coming like that. And maybe I want to make the icons a bit smaller since I pushed it up. So let's see, let's move that a bit. And you can change the message height for how long you want it to be between messages as well. So everything's not cluttered after every time you get a message. Let's look at that. We made a little chat thing, chat style. Call it demo test. Save it here. All right, now let's go back to the chat box screen. You'll see the original one's still here. So to load yours, And after you saved it, you want to save it as default. So you want to click it here. What do you call it? Demo test. We'll save it as default. Notification that saves as default. I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna reset it, and you'll see your new theme is there. Your new style is there. I mean, your new template has been added, and just like that. That's what I wanted to take. So yeah, for this example, I wanted to take up the whole screen. So I'm gonna bring it all the way down. Save. Let's do it again. Alright, so now it's all the way, which I like. I mean, for this demo anyway. But yeah, you see, it's cool. And that's really all it is. And next time you load up, so when it's saved to default, it's gonna load that up the next time you turn your chat box on, so you don't have to go back and reselect it. You just shoot, when you load up Scorebars, it's just automatically there, so you don't have to go in and make any adjustments again, unless you need to actually edit the look of it, which is really cool. I mean, that's pretty much it for it. You have a lot of customization you can add to it. I can show you which ones I've made for an overlay. For an overlay that goes like on the actual gameplay, I like this one. I mean, if I'm gonna do that, I like this one. I'd probably put it. Actually, I'd want it to come in on the bottom. I want it to come at the bottom. So save that like that. I wanted to come in down there. If I'm getting messages and boop boop boop. You know, remember I can limit the number of messages of this one. I want to limit it to 3. I'm gonna save it again. Refresh it by saving it as a default again. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, let's see, it's limited down. And it doesn't take up too much space. I like this is the way I would, for me, if I'm doing, because I like my chat boxes on the screen, preferably, if they're not too distracting. And I like this. So if I'm streaming my game, my chat's gonna be right there with this one, because it's black HUD minimal is what I call it. Super duper. Let me show you my other ones. Let's see, I made a DNF dual one. That one out. It's also brand blue one. You know, like my avatars. I mean, my icon sets. See, I'm gonna have a bunch available day one, but also add more in. There's also the second one I made. Yeah, you remember you have different animations to slide. I think sliding is usually typically the best looking one, but you can have other ones. Just Tekken. Actually, I like the Tekken with the faces. Yeah, so next we have one. The special one I had to make is the Persona 5 one, which is really cool. This one's special because it does a couple of cool things in the actual chat window, an actual chat screen box. We're gonna save this as the default. You can obviously take the background off, but I like the red. I wouldn't use it over my overlay, for example. I'd use it if this is a cutout, you know, kind of layout. But here it has alternating sides on, and you'll see it's like it's like an actual chat, like an SMS message, like a chat message on your phone. And you'll see that the names, they stay to the names, the icons, and the colors of the background of each character's icon stays consistent with the chat. So if they started their first message on the left, they'll stay on the left. If they started the first message on the right, they'll stay on the right. And the same for the colors that are behind them as well. And yeah, you could, I mean, if you're like, oh, you know, that's amazing. But what if I don't want to use, you know, I love the style, but I don't want to use those icons. You know, we can change the icons. You know, yeah, I love them. We can change the icons. We'll change it to, I mean, shoot, I like that. Let's see. Change to Street Fighter Tekken. So save that. Set it as default again so it knows. And then when you get messages, boom, boom, boom. Hey, that's cool, right? Yeah, so you're not limited in your options to do things. You can customize the hell out of it. Which is why I also gave you the option to add your own backgrounds and line things up to it. So super duper cool. I'm gonna have more when I get some more ideas, and I'm gonna put them in the Discord. And obviously, if you make your own, you can export it like we usually do in my program. You save it, export it, drop it in the Discord channel for everybody to use. If you made something really cool as well, you can do that. But yeah, that's all I got for now. See you in the next one.